You know how we're always sharing stories? Maybe some news from family or something interesting a neighbor mentioned. But how do we actually do that correctly in English? Well, today, we're going to master the art of reporting what other people say.
And honestly, this is one of the most useful skills you can learn in English. It's all about building connections and telling great stories. By the end of this, I promise you are going to have the tools to do it with total confidence. Okay, to kick things off, let's actually listen in on two people sharing some news. Just pay close attention to how they talk about what they've heard from other people.
I talked to my cousin yesterday. He said that our family celebration was really important to him.
That makes sense. My neighbor told me that the community festival would be bigger this year. Interesting. I also heard that the couple who organizes it was planning something special. They usually do. My aunt mentioned that these traditions helped keep our relationship strong. Pretty cool, right? That little chat was packed with great examples. So, did you notice how they did that? How they used different words to report what they'd heard? Don't worry if it all went by a little fast. We're about to break down every single rule they used, one by one.
All right, first things first, let's solve probably the biggest mix-up for English learners, the difference between say and tell. Trust me, once you see this rule, you're never going to get them confused again.
So here's the secret, and it's so simple. It all comes down to one question. Are you naming the person who was listening? If you don't mention the listener, you used said. But the moment you include who heard the news, like me, him, or us, you've got to use told.
Okay, your turn. Let's try one. My friend, me the news. What do you think goes in that blank? Said or told? It's got to be told. And why? Well, because we see that little word me right there. We have a listener. My friend told me the news. See? So easy.
Now for our next big idea, get ready to do a little time travel with your verbs. When we report speech, we use this thing called the backshift, which I think is kind of like a little grammar time machine.
And it actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it. The person said the original words in the past, right? So when we're talking about it now, we just nudge the verb one step further back into the past. It shows that time has passed. We're just reporting. We're not quoting them directly.
And check this out. This chart shows you exactly how that time machine works. See how is becomes was? Simple. And will turns into would. A present tense verb like help becomes the past tense, helped. And can becomes could. It's a really consistent pattern, just one simple step back in time.
All right, last big rule, and this one is all about perspective. See, when you report what someone else said, you're telling the story from your point of view now, not from theirs, and that means a few other little words have to change to make sense. Let's just walk through an example together. Imagine your friend says to you, "I need help tomorrow." Now, when you tell someone else about this later, the point of view changes. The I in her sentence becomes she in yours, right? Because you're talking about her. And her tomorrow might not be your tomorrow anymore, so it logically becomes the next day. The whole sentence updates to match your story. So yeah, just think of it like you're updating the details of the story to make sense from where you're standing right now. I becomes he or she. Today becomes that day. It's all about making the story logical from your perspective. Okay, I know that might seem like a lot, but it really just boils down to 3 simple steps. So let's pull it all together into one final, super easy checklist for you.
But hang on, before we get to that checklist, here's a little pro tip to make you sound way more natural. You know that word that? Like in, he said that he was happy? Well, in everyday spoken English, you can almost always just leave it out. She said she was happy. Sounds perfect and is super common. And here it is, your 3-step cheat sheet for perfect indirect speech. Step 1, pick your verb. Told if there's a listener, said if there isn't. Step 2, use that grammar time machine. Shift the verb one step back into the past. And step 3, update the perspective. Change those pronouns and time words. You do those 3 things and you are golden. So what's next? Time to put it into action. Come on, let's do it right now. Think of one thing a friend or a family member told you yesterday. Got it? Okay, now use that 3-step checklist and try saying it out loud. You can totally do this.